Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. We are once again checking out another ReZero episode. I'm so excited for this. This is like the day after I've recorded the previous episode. I wasted no time at all. I wasn't planning on recording today. I was going to use today to edit a bunch of stuff, but I really just need to check out this new episode, so I'm making time for this. I need to check out episode number 7, I believe, right? It's episode 7, I think, at this point. I could be wrong there, but doesn't matter the number. What is important is that we now know who the attacker was in the mansion, the reason Subaru died, probably twice. I imagine she probably killed him that first night as well, but he didn't know because he was sleeping. And we now know that we have to look out for Rem. I suspect that she is going to kill him at the beginning of this episode, and then the entirety of this episode will, for the most part, be Subaru trying to learn more about her and trying to prevent that from happening again. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. I can't wait to see what actually comes of this, because holy shit, that is absolutely insane. I I have my suspicions, but I didn't expect to be, proven right so soon. I guess really what I need to know now is why she's doing this, the purpose, the reasoning, everything like that. It still doesn't make sense to me why, but I'm sure we will learn. It's maybe something to do with Rem and Ram's past. Maybe she is so overly protective that anyone that starts to get close, she needs to take care of. She needs to get rid of immediately. But yeah, just the fact that Subaru was leaving the mansion and Rem went after him still really just leaves me wondering why she went out of her way to even get him when he was leaving. Unless it's because there was that worry that he might come back. Anyway, loved last episode, loved these past several episodes. They've been so fun, so great to check out, and I'm really excited to check out this next one. I'm sad that we didn't get the ending theme kicking in the previous episode. It was kind of like I did miss it. I love that ending theme so much, and it didn't start playing in the previous episode, but I'm hoping it'll play in this one. So here we go, episode number 7, ReZero. Oh, I really don't know what I'm supposed to be expecting for this episode. Is going to be a wild ride, I can tell you that much. If you guys enjoy this video, before I start this episode, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know down below if you're enjoying the series so far, and also feel free to share this with someone who might enjoy ReZero reaction content. And we are just going to dive right into this episode right now. Very excited for this one. Let's go. Oh dear. A face-off I was not expecting to see. Oh my god. She is cold. Seems suspicious. Oh my god. Oh no. I thought so too. Oh shit. He did end up using the media. That's crazy. I wonder if the media pictures saved between resets. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, it's over. It's over. This is hard to watch. What do you mean information? You didn't get information the last couple of times. No! We saved her! What do you mean? Jeez. Ram, come on, bro. The witch cult? No! Literally, what are you talking about, Ram? We just showed up out of nowhere. I guess now we know what we need to do the next reset. Aww. The tears.
俺にくれたものの話だよ。なんで覚えてねえんだよ。どうしてみんなで寄ってたかって俺を置いてくんだよ。俺が何したっつんだよ。俺に何しろってんだよ。何が言ってないんだよ。お前らどうしてそんなに俺を憎むんだよ。俺はお前らのこと。姉様は優しすぎます。
That was an insane scene. The voice acting there was incredible. The drama, everything was. Jeez. Oh my god! And then waking up to your killers, killers. And of course, oh my god, yeah. I'd be shitting myself too. What do we do in this situation?
スバル、大丈夫？何かあるなら私でよければ相談に乗るけど。今まで俺は全て自分だけで変えようとあがいていた。
What if we brought someone in? Yes, please do.
俺は今まで何度も死に。
He can't tell anyone? Oh my god, there are more more conditions. Holy shit. What? Oh, there's a purple hand. Jeez, from the opening.
待て。スバル、どうしたの急に。体は動く。声も出る。心臓も痛くない。だが
What was that?
恐怖は刻まれた。
Oh my god.
どうしたの？
He can't even tell anyone.
本当に変よ。俺に構わないでくれ。
I mean, I understand where he's coming from.
4度目の死はオートでも経験していない。もし次に死ねば戻れないかもしれない。何しに来たんだ。兄ちゃんとあの小娘に言われて面を見に来てやったのよ。
That child?
見るよ。お前の様子がおかしいから最初に目覚めた時にベティが何かしたんじゃないかって疑ってるかしら。
That's funny.
失礼な話なのよ。
Come on, Beatrice. You're the last hope we have here.
どうしてベティが謝らなくちゃならないのかしら。
No, that's not it.
しないと帰るに帰れないのよ。面が新規臭くなっただけじゃなく随分と濃くなっているのかしら。魔女の匂いなのよ。
Okay, what? So his death is somehow related? Huh. His dying and returning?
何にせよ魔女から特別な扱いを受けるお前は厄介者なのよ。顔も名前も知らない相手に特別扱いってのはゾッとしねえな。何もないならもう行くのよ。兄ちゃんにはちゃんと話したことは伝えておくのかしら。ちょっと待て。お前俺に悪いと思ってんだよな。思ってないのよ。パックに言いつけんぞ。少しだけ思ってることもあるかもしれないかしら。5日目の朝、明後日の朝だ。その時間まで俺を守ってくれないか。
Nice! Finally! We're bringing Betty in! I knew it! We're actually, Subaru is so defeated right now. It's actually so sad to see. Up until now, he has been on top of the world. Like, every time he resets, he does the same things. He tries to please everyone, make everyone happy. Doing a silly little dance. But no, not this time. It's very Dark Souls sounding music right now. Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you. Aww. Demonically possessed. Oh shit. Alone in the wilderness. Those nightmares are completely valid. Holy shit. I don't know how he's even able to sleep, honestly. Probably just exhaustion. Oh, nice.
寝てる間に俺を担ぎ込んだのか。お前の匂いが充満してる部屋で過ごすなんてごめんかしら。ベティの居場所は禁書庫だけなのよ。ベアトリス、まさかとは思うけど、寝てる俺の手とか握ってなかったよな。本当にまさかなのよ。お前それで。
Oh shit. I suppose I'd like that. Are we gonna learn even more reading and writing and stuff?
What?
A summons. Oh shit. The room went like this right before, like when he was feeling really nauseous the second time he died. Is it daytime? We did it! We made it to the next day. But at what cost? Because we made no progress. We didn't. Ah, that's so sad. All he could do was just survive to the next day. Not like speak with anyone, build relationships, nothing. Everything was just reset like that.
Subaru. Emilia. いいから一緒に来て。どこ行くんだよ。なんでそんな顔してるんだよ。だってもう全部うまくいく。そうだろ。俺がこうして無事でエミリアも。そうだ。村にさ一緒に行こう。やりたいこと話したいこといっぱいあるんだ。いっぱいあったんだよ。スバル。どうしてなんでレムが殺されちまってる
What?
触らない
で What? Is it like a life for a life type thing?
死因は衰弱死だ
Weakness?
眠るように命の火を消されてる魔法より呪術よりの手法だ
呪術師とレムは別個
お客人何か心当たりはないかね
スバル何か知ってるなら言って
I can't because I will die.
何か知っているなら洗いざらいぶちまけなさい待てラムそれは約束を守る主義なの屋敷にいる間はこの男の身の安全はベティが守る契約かしらロズワールこいつは昨晩禁書庫にいたかしらだからこの一件とは関係ないはずな
事態に重きを置くべきはすでにそこにないしかし君が身を張って守るほどとはよっぽど彼が気に入ったのかな
冗談は化粧と性癖だけにするかしら
Do your makeup and weird fetishes? Oh shit. The way she's standing against him?
レムの仇を何か知っているなら全部話してラムをレムを助けて
Why do they assume we know something?
ごめんねラム私はそれでもスバルを信じてみるスバルお願いごめん
That's the first time she's looked at you like that. Ooh. Jeez.
もうあの場所には戻れない仕方ねえじゃねえかよ俺に何か
And that's the sad part about this.
死に場所死ねば救われるだろうかこの状況から崖
I love the ending theme, the way it's been put to piano keys here. Jeez. Subaru, don't do
こ
it.
のまま目をつむったまま一歩を踏み出せばそれで終わりだ
That's not a choice anyone should ever have to make. The stench of the witch will probably grow stronger. Yeah.
あとたった一歩が俺はこんな簡単なことを
Jeez, this is brutal.
どうして来てくれたんだ俺は
お前の身の安全を守るのがベティの交わした契約なのよ。お前の思い違いじゃないかしら。期限の話をした覚えはないのよ。
Oh shit.
失われたものは戻らない。あの姉に弁明する機会なんてもうない。お前はそれを投げ捨てたのよ。どちらが負けてもあの姉妹はもう足りないかしら。
Beatrice is talking like she knows something.
結局俺は何も知らないままてめえ勝手にみっともなく騒ぎ立ててただけだってのかよ
せめて目の届かないところで死んでくれないと夢見が悪いかしら。だからお前を領地の外へ逃がしてやるのよ。
Are we actually leaving? What was that?
そういえばあの時両手を誰かが握ってくれてラム、レム二人が苦しむ俺を見てらんなくて両手を握ってくれていたんだとしたらそんな奴らだったとしたら俺は放っておけんのが
I'm a little confused, but
もともと俺は楽な方へ流されやすいたちなんだ
the easiest is yeah.
楽な方に行きやすい方へそれを目指して何が悪い
What's wrong with it?
俺が決める
Oh shit. He does right now, and that's so sad. That's so sad. Yeah. It's giving you the chance to.
悪かったな俺がヘタレなせいで随分とお前たちを悲しませた
And that's what I'm interested in. Jeez.
何かが分かったところで何ができるっていうの。
Oh my god.
俺がお前らを大好きだってことだよ
Jeez. Oh my god, Subaru. The OST though. I don't really think I want to watch this like right now. I don't want to see him jump off. Oh my god, he did it. Jeez. You don't know what's going to happen. Oh. New Natsuki Subaru's restart. Oh, yeah. That was crazy. I have no idea what I was expecting before I watched this episode, but nothing like what I just saw. Yeah, I'm gonna take a minute to compose my thoughts and I will be right back. Alright, so I feel like this has been pretty much every episode at this point recently where I'm just like, yeah, my mind is blown. That was crazy. Oh, my head hurts. This series is putting me through it. That was absolutely insane. So we'll start from the start, right? I'll try and like run through the episode as best I can here, share my thoughts, share any potential thoughts or theories I might have, and see where we get from there. I'll probably maybe learn or realize a few things as I'm talking, because yeah, this is just all coming off the dome and from my experiences right off the bat here. So the episode starts obviously with Subaru and Rem. Basically how we left off in the previous episode, only, you know, this time Subaru pulls out his media, his flip phone, and starts taking photos, which is something I thought he would do in the previous episode, but he didn't, but in a different context entirely. And when he does it in this episode, it's used in a way to stun Rem. Now I'm wondering if maybe this media, this mobile phone, because it's one of his starting items, I wonder if it has more power in this world than perhaps he realizes. I wonder if he could pull up his gallery of photos on his phone and see all those photos of Rem. And so that could be proof of the past lives that he's lived. You know, maybe. I'm not entirely positive with that theory, but I think there's some potential to that. You know, maybe this media has more power than we thought, and maybe it'll actually solve something in the future. It will be important perhaps down the line, who knows. I would love that, because it would be so cool if this media is the one thing that goes beyond the boundary of death. You know, it goes from life to life for Subaru. You know, I think that would be pretty cool. As Subaru's running away, screaming, just like doubting everything, wondering why, how this happened, how this came to be, his leg is chopped off. It's pretty grim, because he falls, sees his leg in front of him, and starts screaming. And what does Rem do? She comes up and heals it. She heals his leg so that he won't bleed out. And honestly, it's just like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? But we learn that she wants to question him. And for me, that doesn't make much sense. And the reason for that is that the previous death anyway, where she killed him, she just killed him. She didn't question him. She didn't do anything. She just straight up killed him, like there and then. So I've got a couple of trains of thoughts about that. Maybe it's because it was in the mansion and she didn't want to make too much noise. Or perhaps that was actually Ram. And maybe they both use the same type of weapon. And when Ram killed him, it's kind of because, as Rem said in this episode, my sister's too kind for her own good. And that leads into something else I wanted to mention, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. I just want to run through the rest of the series of events. So Rem saw him as suspicious, which is interesting because I feel like he hasn't really done anything too suspicious. He kind of showed up out of nowhere, especially with Amelia, which is very questionable, I guess. But I feel like in terms of the bonds, in terms of the questions he's asked, in terms of what he's been doing, he's kind of been keeping his head down and just getting on with things. I don't really think that he was causing any drama or doing anything strange, but you know, what do I know? I'm not part of this world. I don't know what would be considered strange or weird or not normal. We learned that he stinks of the witch's stench or scent. I can't remember what the wording was for that. When I heard that, I thought she was just making a comment about how she can practically smell the witch off him because of his lies. She thought he was lying and she didn't believe him. So I thought it was just a throwaway comment until Beatrice mentioned it again later. So I don't know what to think of that. I guess once Beatrice mentioned it, I was thinking then that, well, this must be something that is related to his return by death. Somehow the Witch of Envy is involved. Somehow he is tied to Amelia. Somehow everything is just tied somehow to something, and we're still figuring out how. I don't know if the Witch of Envy, Satala, is literally related to Amelia, if the Witch of Envy brought Subaru here to protect her, or if there's something going on there. There has to be something. There's obviously something. I just don't have all the pieces yet. I don't have the answers, and I just have questions right now. But my suspicion right now is that somehow Subaru being in this world in Lagunica right now is tied to the Witch of Envy because his stench is of her, and this purple hand, whatever it is, must be somehow related to that. And in order for this spell, this curse, that it's been mentioned curse a few times now, in order for this curse to work on Subaru, he can't mention it around anyone because he was about to die when he started talking about it. Another thing, I'm going back, I'm all over the place, I'm aware, but another thing is that Rem claims that Ram was also pretending, I believe, to care about Subaru. And for me, that was hard to believe because Ram did genuinely seem to show up out of her own volition and just like chill with Subaru and, you know, just be willing to put up with him. I did not get the vibes that Ram disliked him or didn't like him or just anything like that. But I guess, what do I know? Like, I just really don't know anything. I don't know what to be learning from this. And then, of course, we had that really beautifully tragic moment with Subaru where he was screaming, tears were streaming down his face, and he was just begging, pleading for his life, pleading for everything. He didn't understand why things were happening the way they were happening. He was saying that he doesn't cut his hands anymore. He was saying that he can read and write now. He didn't break any of his promises. He was screaming out that he loved Rem and Ram. He loved them so much. He came to love them. He came to appreciate them. And they meant a lot to him. And honestly, it was like he was having this genuine crisis in that moment. And it's the first time we've seen him kind of really in that mindset, that deep into his feelings and emotions. He's unable to break away. He's unable to compartmentalize or just do anything. He's just so broken at that point, and it's just ruined him altogether. And I think that is so sad, and I've never seen him like that, and I never want to see him like that again. But he kind of just is screaming out like, you know, why me? Why this? Why am I being targeted? Why am I the target of all of this, and why is everyone leaving me behind? And it's so honestly heartbreaking that this poor guy who has been so good, so amazing, and so funny, and just getting on with it despite all the bad shit that's been coming his way, he is broken and he doesn't know what to do anymore. He's at his wit's end and he's done for at this point. When he's screaming that he loved them, he seemed so genuine, but right as he's saying that, his chest bursts open and blood comes flying out and he's dead. And then Rem makes that comment about my sister is too kind. And that comment doesn't really make much sense unless Ram is the one that showed up in that moment and killed him. Perhaps that's my suspicion anyway, because I might be suspecting now that Ram killed him the second time he died, and Ram also killed him this time, technically, that she showed up and used the magic, which burst his chest open, and maybe she's the one that killed him and not Rem, because when it shows Rem again, she's just standing there as he's dying, and it doesn't look like she did anything, but we don't see anyone else. So I'm not really sure, but I think the only way for her comment about my sister is too kind to make any sense is if Ram showed up, she found them and killed him in that moment. And maybe that's kind of related to the red ogre, blue ogre thing, you know? So then Subaru, I guess, starts to feel like his purpose, perhaps, or the reason he's there is to be punished. And he starts to basically feel as though his life is kind of throwaway, but that he doesn't want to die anymore, and that he's not really important and not related whatsoever to the grand scheme of things. He's just being basically pranked in the worst way possible, and he just decides, instead of building these bonds, relationships, and happy experiences, positive moments with the characters that he grew to know and love in the mansion, he decides instead to just exist. He decides to rot away and just chill out in the bed and just not do anything. And because of that, the others don't learn anything about him. He doesn't really learn anything about them in the sense that he doesn't pretend and relearn things and build upon the past or anything. He decides, you know what, Beatrice, now that you're here, can you please protect me, because I am terrified. And for some reason, Beatrice is the character that kind of levels him. She grounds him and makes him feel safe. And I love that we see that several times in the series. And this is just another huge, great example of that. He felt safe enough to ask her if she could protect him. And that's not only because he knows that she is powerful, but he also just feels safe around her for some reason. And I really do love that so much, because up until this point, he has been kind of not really protected or anything. He hasn't really had anyone he could talk to. And especially when he went to talk to Amelia in this episode, and he had that vision of the purple hand gripping his heart as time froze around him, it was harrowing. It was so terrifying that he couldn't talk. And so we don't really see him talk really just kind of nonchalantly to Beatrice, but he kind of does talk a little bit to her. And there's some kind of feeling of, does Beatrice know a little more than she's letting on? Because she's kind of making these comments that, yes, they're about one thing, but they could also be somewhat related to the grander scheme of things and what is happening. You know, when she's talking about, you have to make a decision, it's too late, all of that stuff. I know that she was talking about Ram in that situation and, all of that stuff, but it felt very much like she could have been talking almost like she's breaking the fourth wall and speaking to us about what we know about, the grand scheme or whatever. But it's sad that Subaru had to seclude himself in order for him to survive or feel safe enough for those 4 days. And then he goes to sleep like a silly dum-dum, has nightmares about Rem and Ram, but then has these flashes as well of them holding his hands. And that will come up again later, but, I'll talk about that in a little bit. But, he has these nightmares about Rem, and it's pretty scary because he obviously doesn't trust anyone right now. And the fact that he is having nightmares, it's scary, it's sad. And honestly, like, where do you go from there? How can you trust anyone again at that point? When he asked Betty to protect him, boy, does she protect him. She is honestly the GOAT of this episode, and I knew that she would be important going forward. I didn't know how she would kind of come to play a part. I was hoping that there would kind of be like an entire episode about Subaru building this relationship with Betty, but instead Betty's just like, okay, I'll promise you. And from then on, she is a ride or die. She is with Subaru, she is the GOAT, and she is going nowhere, and I love that. I cannot wait to learn more about Beatrice. I'm so glad we've got someone on board, someone who we can trust, someone who trusts us, despite the fact that we bicker. I'm speaking as though I'm Subaru, which is crazy. Subaru and Beatrice, they bicker a lot, like brother and sister, but it's adorable that they do have a relationship like that, and I love it so much, and I can't wait to see that play out in future episodes. And then Beatrice gets a summons, and she just gets up and leaves, and Subaru's shitting himself, and the room is wobbling, kind of like we saw when he was feeling nauseous, when he was throwing up and everything right before his second death, and he's seeing the room wobble as Beatrice walks out the door. Well, that might have just been related to the magic that she uses for the room teleporting around the place, the door magic, whatever they call it. But once Subaru leaves, he sees it's daytime, and Amelia's there, and he's like, oh, hi Amelia, holy shit, you want to go do something? Like, we could go to the village, we can go to the garden with all these flowers and everything like that. And obviously she doesn't know what he's talking about, and it's really sad to know that all those beautiful memories that he has created with all of them are just gone. And it's honestly like the most heartbreaking thing about the series, the fact that Subaru is the only one remembering anything, everyone else forgets. And that is honestly, like, it's heartbreaking. It really, really is. And then we find out that Amelia is not responding to him. She's looking dead ahead, and she's got this look on her face. And then we hear Ram screaming because Rem is now dead. Roswell makes a comment about how she just seemed to go to sleep and never woke up, and that there was a curse perhaps placed on her. And that makes Subaru then wonder if it was the curse that caused her to kill him or something. I'm not really sure how. I don't know how to interpret that piece of dialogue. If it's not spoilery, please help me understand that piece of dialogue where he was like, oh, that curse, blah blah blah, because I don't quite understand what he meant by that, but he kind of is under the impression that whatever happened when she killed him, it was related to a curse, and maybe she had to kill him in order to survive, because the fact that he didn't die, it meant that she did. And I wonder if someone has to die there or what's happening. I don't know. But then, yeah, they're all like, if you know anything, Subaru, you have to tell us. And Rem goes to kill Subaru on the spot, ends up cutting his cheek, and then when she goes to do something again, Betty stands up for him, stands in front of it, and says, you're going to have to go through me, basically. I'm protecting him, and that's that. And then Roswell's like, well, I'm pretty sad because this was a guest of mine. This was someone from the mansion. And he starts summoning Google Chrome right there and then. Like, he is ready to just start killing Subaru as well. And Subaru's just like, I don't know, I can't say anything. Because he had that moment earlier in the episode where he tried to say something, and he felt the terror, the horror, everything, and he felt like he was going to die in that moment. And so because of that, he doesn't say anything. He keeps it to himself, and basically Betty's just like, yeah, you're gonna have to go through me to Ram, when Ram's like, I can mess your shit up, and Betty's like, I will kill you, I don't give a shit. So then Subaru runs away, but right before that, actually, Amelia's like, I trust Subaru, I trust that he'll do the right thing. And Subaru can't do anything and runs away, and Amelia looks at him in a way that he has never seen her look at him. And I think that broke his heart right then. And so he just sprinted, he ran away, and he just kept running. He was running and running and running, got to the place where he died. And he's like, death, that's my way out of this. I can die again. I don't know what will happen. I've never died this many times at a checkpoint, but the only way to maybe do something right here is to die, and then everything will be reset. And right as he's about to do that, he realizes he can't do that. He's not strong enough. And I'm glad, because nobody should do that, especially with the context. Like, in killing yourself just to reset, that is the most brutal thing ever. Like, the pain, the horror, everything about it is gruesome. And he just doesn't do it then. He, I guess, closes his eyes, and then a while later Betty shows up and is like, yeah, I'm gonna protect you forever. Actually, I never put a time limit on that, so you're stuck with me, bozo. And he's just like, what, thank you, basically. And yeah, they're stuck together then, and I love it. I can't wait to see more of those two together. Beatrice kind of drops some kind of heavy lore about the witch. Actually, maybe this was when he went to I think this might have been when he went to the library, actually. She dropped some heavy lore about the witch, and I could have read it wrong, but I'm almost certain that Betty said that she was kind of favored by the witch. So she's got an in with the witch, and she knows more about the witch than probably most characters. So she could probably share some information with us. She might know something about the curse that Subaru is going through. I don't know if there's anything that Betty will be able to do for us that can help us, but she seems to be really important in that sense, that she knows more and she can help us when it comes to the witch. And yeah, the witch, I need to know more about the witch. The witch is going to be a very important character, very huge role in the series, and I'm so excited to see that when it eventually plays out. And when Beatrice is basically saying to Subaru that he needs to make his mind up, he needs to decide what he's going to do, because it will be too late if he doesn't. And she basically says, like, it was too late already. Your actions have consequences. The choices that you make with the time that you have, they are important. You're never going to have another chance with Rem or Ram. That's it. Your relationship with them is dead in the water. And I think that was a really powerful quote that she dropped, because I feel like that is going to resonate with Subaru a lot going forward, where he knows he has to make do with the time that he has, and he has to do as much as he can. He has to learn as much as he can, and he has to really just commit to doing what he can in order to protect everyone and himself. And right as she's saying all this, Ram shows up and she's ready to kill Subaru. Betty's like, I will mess your shit up once again. Ram's like, it's like, I will mess your shit up once again. And yeah, they go to fight, but Subaru's like, Thank you, Ram. I'm so sorry. I don't know anything about what happened to Rem, but I will do my best to make things right, basically. And he runs and he jumps off that cliff, something he couldn't do before. But now that he is filled with passion and he knows what he has to do, he knows that the only way to fix things is if this happens. And it's so honestly tragic that he had to pump himself up to get to that point. Nobody should ever have to do that. Nobody should ever get to that point. But this poor young guy with so much positivity, so much love and light in this world, had to take his own life in order to try and fix things. And that's how the episode ended. He jumped off. The episode ended with a splat. And yeah, it was an insane episode, a really powerful and important one. I think that a lot of things that happen in this episode are going to have a lot of meaning and a lot of power going forward, and a lot of real strong moments for Subaru as a character were in this episode. His voice acting, the voice acting for Subaru was absolutely incredible here. That moment where he's screaming to Rem at the start of the episode was so passionate. I felt for him. I was in that moment with him, and yeah, it was great. The voice acting all around the board was great. Ram's voice acting in that moment too was incredible, and also Ram with her screeching and the voice acting there was so good. And yeah, I really loved it. The moment where Subaru pulled Beatrice's hair was really funny. You know, we're all thinking it, and he did it. But you know, the OST so good in this episode really just highlighted those key moments and really just emphasized them so much and really did a great job. And yeah, I'm so excited to see more. I need to know what's coming next. I don't want Subaru to die again. I know he probably will, but we are one step closer to getting out of this awful mansion, this real mansion of death, horror, terror, just haunted mansion, if you will. It's just really grim and gruesome, everything that happens there for Subaru, and I'm excited to kind of hopefully go beyond that very soon. But yeah, that's going to do it for me for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love this episode. If you have any questions, ask them down below. Please don't spoil anything for me. I am loving the series so much and I don't want spoilers. But yeah, if you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe and comment. I hope you're having a great day and that you're able to take it easy, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.